Insights with Terri Ep.120 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.120. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.120. Thank you for joining me for a look at the week of May the 15th through the 21st. We've had so many changes in the planet, so many opportunities to look at our lives, so many things that are going on around us to try to wake us up a little bit, to make us look and say, is this making sense? This part of my life, this part of politics, this part of management of the ecosystem, maybe dedicating more people to studying something that's been studied to pieces, and is this a good investment of our time and our resources? So we are being pushed as a species, as an individual person, very significantly into really looking at our lives and saying, what do we want? What do we want in our life? There are so many instances I can think of in the politics, just listening to CNN and BBC and all of them, my mind just goes, whoa. So do what you can, take a rest when you can. That's what a lot of this is about too, is trying to take a break at times and say, okay, this is enough, or it's not making sense to me, it'll never make sense to me, and maybe I'm not supposed to understand it right now, because if I do, I'm part of the problem. We are still in Taurus, in the sun sign, which is that bull that craves security in our lives, that wants us to feel safe, a safe spot, and anything that shakes that safety, that security, well, you know what the bull does. He just charges in there and says, okay, enough of this. I'm taking control of this, and everybody out. So, and always not on a polite way of getting out. So the bull in this energy field is trying to help us find what is our security. How would you identify what your security is? Is it that you lean on your husband or your wife? Is it that your kids are now taking care of you? Is it the dog that barks at the door? What do you feel is your security? What makes you feel safe? What makes you feel secure? We have to know that so that we can keep building on it or adjust it in some way to make us feel even better. Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, it's still in Taurus. It has been retrograde. For me, it feels like, honestly, forever. It actually was humorous at all the things that could go wrong and did go wrong, but ended up being perfect, ended up being exactly as it should be, or manifesting itself in the absolute best way it could in spite of me. So if we could just relax with many of the circumstances that we were in, things turned out so much better. Many people have gone through a retro in their lives where they're looking back at some memories, having some memories without permission pop into your life to say, wow, I forgot all about that, or this is how it really was. So we're being offered that opportunity to look at that and say, what made me me? What circumstances shaped me? What am I still letting shape me? Is there anything that I need to adjust? Or maybe I'm happy with this. Now that went direct on the 14th of this week, and that was Sunday. And when it changes position, it's going retro, then it has to go stationary, then it has to go direct. So there's a big shift there, and it happens fairly quickly, and it can be very unsettling for my sensitive people. So be prepared to be unsettled in many things that maybe we didn't get to fix or didn't get to scrutinize will come to a head, and it's the way it's supposed to be, and then we have to look at it. It's a shakeup. It is a shakeup. Just think of a big, heavy logging truck going down the logging road, then having to come to a stop, then having to move forward, the amount of energy that takes. And Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is still in Cancer. That's a really nice place for Venus to be. I like it. Everybody falls in love during this time. Or if you don't have a partner, you find a partner. Some people do find a partner during this time. It can be short-lived, but enjoy what you can when you can. Look at the birds out there right now, falling in love with each other, making nests, feeding their children, their little feathered children. The ducks have made nests, and the males are protecting the females, and it's just a nice feeling. It helps develop trust in a sense, and so that's what I think that is being pushed at us, is how do we trust? What do we trust? Who do we trust? Do we even trust ourselves? What you want to be careful for with this type is we can take offense very easily. And if we take offense easily, even the slightest hint of rejection could make us want to retreat into that Cancer shell. So we have to look at what is making us feel so vulnerable, especially when that bull is there to help us be so powerful and strong-minded. So what's making us feel that vulnerable? And what person makes us feel safe and secure? Now, what we have to watch is, who makes us feel safe, and do we have a right to feel safe with that person? We have to look at, I'm seeing out there with the ducks and the chickens and the turkeys, where maybe there's a female on the nest and she's trying to steal the husband of another duck, or a duck is trying to steal the female of another male, or trying to encroach in the boundaries that have been sort of kind of drawn in the sand. So we have to look at that and say, I'm a human being. I should be more conscious. Am I doing that? Do I know I'm doing that? Am I encroaching in the boundaries of my friends, or just for that security? Just look at what you're doing. Family, feelings, friends, all of that kind of energy is going to feel very poignant right now. This is the great time to invite people over to entertain, to enjoy each other's company, to enjoy your home. Would I like a sunroom? What would you like in your home? What traditions do you look forward to every year? And maybe you can bump it up. I had a turkey a couple of weeks ago. There was no reason to have a turkey other than it was in the freezer. And I just invited everybody over, and believe it or not, everybody came. I couldn't believe it. It's hard to get everybody together, yet the time was right. And it was so wonderful to see everybody at the table and changing food. Everybody brought something. It was just really nice feeling. If you get a chance to do that, barbecue, or just have people out on your lawn with their chairs, and who knows, it might become a tradition for this kind of year, just celebrating spring coming in. Thoughtful gifts. My daughter-in-law gave me a very thoughtful gift, and it doesn't have to be a holiday. My daughter-in-law's mother brought some flowers that I think she got them at Costco, and my goodness, they're almost 3 weeks old, and they look like they're still kids. It's amazing how love makes things last. With this energy of so much of the crab, though, because it's also in Mars at this time, and that will change on the 21st to Leo, which gives us a different energy field. Watch that we don't harbor any resentment in others, because they'll sense it. And maybe we don't know how to deal with that resentment. Where is it coming from? So we might be touched with an event like that, and we have to explore. Am I mirroring their feelings? Is that mine? Is it theirs? And if we know how to make friends feel nurtured and cared for, and family, maybe others will do the same for you. So if you can identify for them how it feels to be feeling secure, safe, loved, nurtured, cared for, and not hold on to the hurt feelings, and actively start to enact a feeling of safety and love, not resentment and revenge to the people that maybe hurt us directly or indirectly. This is where we're supposed to be looking at that. And are we being impressionable, and can we pick up the mood of the environment that we're in, or the people that we're with? So just be careful, because this is psychic too, and a dark character could sense your vulnerability and also play on that good nature. I saw that a couple of weeks ago at one of the grocery stores in Essex. I'll make this really short if I can. And there were some young people there that were not in the right frame. I could feel it was all wrong, and there was an elderly man, and they were there to take advantage of him. And him being soft, not weak, soft, not wanting to hurt anybody's feelings, it could have gone really bad. So be careful, because there is dark out there if there is light. So we've got to be careful of that. And as I said, Mars is in Cancer too, so our passion will be love, compassionate feelings towards others, wanting to help. Maybe wanting to help is a good thing, but possibly we have to look at how it affects other people in our lives. Are we hurting another person's feelings by helping? The first part of the week, as far as health goes, we may wrestle with allergies or headaches, maybe teeth, tongue, arteries. Those will be the vulnerable body parts through the first of the week. As we get to the middle of the week, it'll migrate down to the neck, the thyroid, your throat, vocal cords. If you're not vulnerable and you don't have a problem, you may be fine. But if you're vulnerable in that area, it may stand out. So just kind of keep an eye on it, that that you may be susceptible, and is there anything that I can be proactive in that? Then towards the end of the week, it starts to migrate down into the shoulders, the forearms, your hands, bronchial tubes, your lungs. So expect some wet lungs for some of us in this next little bit. And the number 9 is the number that was given to us, and that's idealism. It's an idealistic approach towards life, ourselves, our surroundings. So this journey that we're all on is there to help us gain experience, help our soul move forward, maybe meet people that help us in the mission that we've been sent here for, to experience and to accomplish. We may become a little bit more devoted to our goals, maybe have a higher level of mental energy with this number 9, and able to take on some responsibility. Many people are not held accountable for what they do, or hold themselves accountable, or take on any responsibility for what happened. And so number 9 is going to try to push us into that. There's more spirituality around number 9 that can help us to maybe look at, we don't have as much need for material security as much as we want love, and we want truth, and we want friendships will be very important to us. Wisdom, fulfilling and closing cycles, and being ready to advance in our soul's journey. All of that will offer us an opportunity to have that float to the surface. The weakness of number 9 is a tendency to have delusions, extremely emotional feelings, too emotional, moody, exaggerated reactions to situations, a tendency towards emotional stress and mental excesses. So just be cognizant of what you're going through, how you're going through it, and what situations are putting you in that position, and is it getting out of hand in our desire for change and progress. So that's the weakness of things. In this, I just want to bring this up, and I normally won't do something like this because it's kind of floaty, but many people will be given the opportunity in the next little bit to meet their guides, angels. Now, I have a different perspective of guides and angels if I compare myself to other people, but it's a name, it's a word. The energy it's entities that are around us. So many of you may see orbs. Maybe if you're taking pictures, you might see more orbs. The orbs were around a lot for a while, and then I wouldn't say they disappeared, but they got minimalized, and then they're starting to come around, and that can be entities, energy, not fairies necessarily, just entities. I'm just going to say that are around us to help us and help us move forward. So just remember, there is help all around us. When I enter a room, it's not just that one person that's there with me. It can be many, many beings, and it can be distracting, and it worries me that I would look like I'm out of touch with reality. So I'm very careful to try to focus on the reality of the situation. But many of you may be offered the opportunity to see these beings, to be involved with the beings. But whether you feel that or not, you will be offered a chance to ask them for help, to get them involved in your life. So don't be afraid to involve them, even for little things like should I do the salad now? Should I do the salad later? Should I call now? Should I call later? All of those things they want to be involved in our life. And it would be so much easier if we did that. So I'm going to leave you with that. Look around, feel things. Let yourself feel them. Let yourself immerse yourself in all the nuances that are around you, the energy waves and all the nuances that maybe your soul knows, but your conscious mind is missing. On that note, I would like to thank Charlie O'Brien sincerely for putting us on Spotify and Apple iTunes, the podcast, Amazon podcast, SoundCloud, and then he gives me the link for the YouTube, and then I will put that on Facebook as well. He's created the website, www.terriworld.com, and if you've missed any of the podcasts or you just want to go back and refer to them, he's got 4 or 5 of them up there that are archived. You are welcome to do so. And if you have a need for me to do a personal reading for you, I'd be happy to. Text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. I'd be happy to read your email and see what I could do to help you. So again, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for Charlie, all his work in getting us up there and out there. You guys have a great week. I hope to talk to you next week. Be safe. Love you all. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.